Hello and Merry Christmas everyone, and welcome to some career mode of Assetto Corsa gameplay. I've streamed some Assetto Corsa Competizione before, but this time I thought I'd show you some of the career mode, how it starts and what a typical race weekend kind of looks like. First up, we have some test rounds in the Lambo. This is all preset by the way, so all you have to do is kind of get out there, drive carefully and see what the results say. And what you're seeing on screen now is actually the second test. The first one was a standard dry run around Monza. For whatever reason it didn't record for me, but everything went well, and now we're going to try and see can we keep it clean and somehow get around here in the wet in a fast time. So into turn 1 of Monza, usually kind of a chaos area. We have some fella in another Lambo right behind us, but he's keeping us honest. This is going to be our flying lap that we have here in the wet. I've had a few laps now at this stage just to kind of get used to the car. Things really do change in the wet. The car is very easy to swing around in the rear. So traction control is on high. You can see the tyres are getting a bit warm there as well. I haven't exactly been keeping to the wet line, which is slightly different to the dry line, trying to keep the tyres cool. So my goal here is to get a decent lap time. Currently you can see that I'm actually in P6. All of my laps so far have not really gone to plan, so I'm going to try and change that on this part of the gameplay at the minute. Need to get a good lap in here. Not really sure what would happen if I didn't actually get any lap together. Whether that puts me into a different level category or not, I'm not too sure. But however, let's see how we get on in our lap. So currently we're looking at around 2.5 seconds up on my previous lap. The car is a little bit skittish here and there. The wet weather effects are pretty accurate here in ACC, so currently we are not doing too bad on our lap here, so let's see how we get on. Nice and easy, coming up to the parabolic, and now only one more turn. Coming in nice and easy. With drift a little bit before you get back onto the throttle again. Traction control is of course on, and our tyres are nice and warm, but here we are, we're looking to cross the line nearly 2.5 seconds quicker, and it's a 2:02.685, so decent run for our wet weather challenge. So let's see how we get on in the next part. So the third test of Assetto Corsa career mode is actually going to be a nighttime challenge. And as you can see here, we are still in Monza and we're still in the Lamborghini, coming into turn 1, and it's pretty much the same. It's actually a bit easier this time. The main difficulties is your braking points. As you can see, it's pretty dark around here, so you need to make sure that you keep up your braking points as accurately as you can. I have made a mistake. I am surprisingly being able to edit these videos. You can see that I am just a fantastic driver and I've never made one mistake whatsoever in the 5 to 10 minutes that you actually get while racing these little tests. But nevertheless, we are currently sitting second. Our time so far is a 1:59.295, and the lap that we're on right now is going to be my fastest lap of the practice session. It is going to be the fastest lap that I've ever done around here, but the car itself is in a safe setup just because I wanted to make sure I get a clean enough lap. And of course the actual track temperatures have dropped significantly compared to my dry runs that I've had previously. So you'll notice on the bottom right corner you can see our tyres are still somewhat a little cold, and that's even with a few laps of practice in already. But even with that, we're going to try and keep it as clean as we possibly can. All we need to do here is finish and finish well, so get some sort of a time on the leaderboard here, and then we can move on to the next part. So let's just enjoy the end of this lap here. So we crossed the line and there's a 1:54.534, and that is going to be pole for myself for this practice session. So after the practice sessions, we do a little bit of fidgeting around. We pick a team. It took me absolutely ages to pick what team I wanted to race with. I have chosen BMW M6. There wasn't a huge amount of options available to me. I wanted the new Jag. but unfortunately I might have to wait for that one. So the first race is going to be in Zolder, and it's a 20-minute session. But before we get to that, there was 2 practice sessions of 5 minutes each, and also 2 qualifying sessions of 5 minutes each. So what you're seeing here now on screen is going to be the final flying lap of the first qualifying session. So completely new track. We're not in Monza anymore. We're getting a bit of pressure from one of the guys behind me here. You'll notice as well there's only a minute left on the clock. I did have some runs already, but unfortunately they haven't gone so well. So this is actually my last attempt here to try and get some sort of a flying lap on the board. This is actually my first run around Zolder before, or on this car. I've never actually raced here in this car or on this track in Assetto courses. So to take the full length of the practice sessions, but to be fair, doing the full length of every session does mean that you do get a few extra points for your career, and you're going to see that little kind of summary page once we finish a number of these sessions here. So 22 seconds on the clock. We're coming into one of the final hairpins before the end of the lap. Hopefully this means that we're going to get a decent enough time on the board here. We're currently in P16, so 10 seconds left. And let's see how we get on.
Checkered flag, 16th place.
And we crossed the line and we are P2, so not a bad qualifying session there for me. So with that qualifying, we're actually into the second qualifying. We're finding a bit more grip in the car, we're feeling a bit more confident, and let's see how we get on. So we've 3 minutes left on clock. I'm not going to do any talking through this one, I'm just going to let the car do the talking, and let's see how we get on in our second qualifying.
That's 2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
There we go, so 133.02, and it puts us in pole for the first race. Or is it? Because we did have 2 qualifying sessions, so where does that actually put us? We qualified second in the first and first in the second. So it puts us on an average of P2 overall. So this is the first sprint race of the weekend here. We're starting in P2. There is an Audi in front of us and there is an Audi behind us, so we're a bit of a sandwich here at the minute. But here we go, we are getting started. This is the first race of our career against AI. I'm actually not sure what level of difficulty they are, but we are about to go green here, guys, so let's see how we get on in the start. Bit of a slow start there. The leader has got away a little bit, but let's see, can we catch him in the first couple of corners here. Surely we're better than the AI in a sprint race, aren't we? So after the first couple of corners, it looks like we are still where we are. We're currently about 0.5 of a second behind
tightly, decent start.
there's
We can build something from here. Gap to Vanthoor.
crew chief. You notice the crew chief is slightly different from the in-game spotter. And of course, sometimes you might notice the two of them are spotting. Well, I haven't got that fully set up yet, but I have downloaded the crew chief to give me a bit of extra information, and it does.
The gap to Leonard behind is increasing.
As
It's now
here.
1.0
It does
seconds.
give me a bit of cohesiveness between games because it is the same crew chief that I can use in, of course, iRacing. So that aside, we are still in P2 here. Now, to be fair, P2 is not exactly a bad position to be in. This is our first race, and we don't know how hard or easy these championships are going to go. So far, we're not doing too bad then, if that's the case. But let's see how we get on here. We're going to go on through a few laps. I'm going to shut up and you can enjoy the glorious sounds of Assetto Corsa. So as you can see, we're not actually doing too bad. We're still keeping with P1 here, Vanthoor right in front of us. We're all going very, very well until this happened.
Got some light damage on the front.
The leader's just done a 133.44. Car right. Yellow flag. Caution.
And that was the end
That lap
of
time
that
was
race.
132.75.
So this is actually race 1 again. I had to kind of abandon that race and start again because the damage was a bit too extensive to the car. So we're kind of picking up race 1, or shall I say the end of race 1,
The gap
with
behind is
around
now
2
2.3
minutes and
seconds.
44 seconds to go. We actually have a new leader up ahead of us. He is 1.2 to 2.5. That kind of changes it that a little bit. I think there's a bit of a glitch just at that particular part of the track there. But in saying that, we are still P2. It is a decent position to be in. And let's see, can we actually finish this race out here without any more incidents? Bear in mind, we actually have pitted in this race. You have to do mandatory pit stops in all of the sprint races here in the career mode. So that was quite interesting. It was also something else that we weren't familiar with, and I had to learn the very, very
Okay,
hardware.
we've
But
got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
2 minutes to
to
go, as
2
good old
minutes.
Jeff has says there. So let's actually take a look at the end of this lap. So skipping forward then just to the end of race 1, we did manage to get back up behind the leader Stevens, roughly to be just over a second behind, but unfortunately it is not enough. This is the end of race 1. It looks like we're on to a podium finish, or are we? Because knowing my luck, I have to do something wrong, just like that. And what that's going to do, the car actually stalled there as well. You can kind of see it here, it's starting up again, but that did actually cost me P2, which means I eventually do finish the race in a third position there, but to be fair, you can see
Great drive. That's a
we got a gold medal, we got some good, decent points. 500 points for pole position, 1,000 for professionalism, and another 500 for top qualifier. So, not exactly the worst result there.
All right, Lee, here we
And
go.
here we are, starting in pole for the second race. So, let's see, can we get a better start here? This is the second sprint race. There is now Lamborghinis behind us instead of the Audis. We are about to go green here. How's it going to go? There's green lights and we are getting swamped. Let's see, can we regain some of these positions here? We have lost pole position. We've nearly lost second position as well. There's a big mark behind us here. Let's see, can we regain our first position into turn 2? And we're going to just squeeze enough to the left there. We've regained our pole position and now we're back on track. So this is race 2. We have 20 minutes remaining. We are not going to watch the full 20 minutes here, guys, but it's safe to say that the next couple of minutes have been fairly decent driving by myself. I'm trying to keep it clean, just like I did for the majority of race 1 here, but get a bit more confidence in the car here, and the pace is increasing. So over the next couple of laps, we increase our distance to P2, and we're going to bring it up just before we have to pit for race 2.
Gap to Bortolotti behind is now 1.0 seconds. There's an incident in turn 1.
And yes, that is absolutely how you're supposed to enter the pits. That's the way to slow down, of course.
Okay, Lee, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up.
So,
watch your speed.
Slight bit of damage there, but I'm going to actually decide not to repair that damage because I want to get in and out of here as quickly as possible.
Behind is pitting.
I'm going to untick the suspension and the bodywork. Nice and easy does it. Let's get into this pits and see where we end up.
Remaining 10 minutes. That's halfway. Fuel is tight. You might need to save some fuel to get to the end.
Mandatory stop is not clear.
Engine on and away we go. So we had roughly around 30 seconds of a stop there,
Clear on pit exit.
not including travel.
Brake temps are good.
You did hear there as well that our pit stop did not refuel, and fuel could be a little bit tight here. So what's going to happen is over the next couple of laps I'm going to mess a little bit with the engine mapping, moving it over to map 1, 2 and 3. Just make sure that I do make it towards the end of the race, but things are actually going to look up a little bit better here for us because this is now the end of the race. We've skipped on a little bit. We're moving our engine map back to map 1 because I know for a fact that we're going to make it. It is the second to last corner in through the chicane, the final chicane, and we are going to cross the line, and it is going to be a maiden victory in Assetto Corsa Competizione. In the top 10, of course, not multiplayer. I have actually won a race in multiplayer, which was quite interesting. But there we go. It is P1 as a session result, gold standard medal, and we've got 3,000 extra points coming our way there. You can see the slight bit of damage from our pit entry, showing on our good old M6. But that is going to be it, guys, for a weekend around Assetto Corsa Competizione. That is what one weekend session of your career would look like. There's plenty of practice to get involved. Overall, it's incredibly enjoyable. The game is getting better and better with each practice show. Let me know what you think of this video. This was kind of a quick one put together just for Christmas, guys. So I just wanted to get something out there over the next couple of days. But let me know if you want to see more of these type of videos. I will be streaming some as well, just to make things a bit easier. But until that time, enjoy your Christmas. have some fun, have some food, and have some drink. Until the next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.